Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel.
France's foreign minister said today that a proposal to move the American embassy to Jerusalem would be a provocation with serious consequences. United States President-elect Donald Trump has indicated that he is seriously considering making such a move, but Jean-Marc Ayrault said while it's not the first time that it's on the agenda of a U.S. president, none have let themselves make that decision. Said Ayrault, "One cannot have such a clear-cut unilateral position. You have to create the conditions for peace." His remarks precede the conference on the Middle East peace process taking place in Paris today. Some 70 countries are taking part in the summit, but not Israel nor the Palestinian Authority. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected the conference as futile and told the cabinet meeting this morning that this conference is among the last twitches of the world of yesterday. He said tomorrow will look different and that tomorrow is very close. A discovered pendant that appears identical to one owned by Anne Frank belonged to another Jewish girl who may have known her, says Yad Vashem. The Holocaust Memorial Museum says it is verified that the pendant belonged to Caroline Cohn. Researchers uncovered the pendant when they were excavating the Sobibor extermination camp. Bearing the inscription Mazal Tov in Hebrew lettering, the medallion belonged to Cohn, who was born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1929 and who perished at Sobibor. More than 250,000 Jews were killed in the Sobibor death camp. Anne Frank was arrested along with her family by the Germans in the occupied Netherlands during the Second World War and died in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp shortly before the end of the war in 1945. The Diary of a Young Girl, which Frank wrote while in hiding from June 1942 to August 1944, is one of the most famous diaries of all time. Intelligence agencies from around the world are investigating numerous reports that claim some connection between President-elect Donald Trump and the Russian government, according to Israeli intelligence officers who spoke to BuzzFeed. Last week, BuzzFeed published an unverified dossier that said the Russian government had material that could be used to blackmail Trump. The file claimed Russia had recordings of Trump's personal obsessions and sexual perversion. It was later revealed that the dossier had been compiled by Christopher Steele, a former member of the British intelligence agency MI6. Trump and his transition team have vehemently denied the allegations contained in the report, rebuking them as fake news. According to Yediot Achronot, Israeli intelligence officers were recently warned by U.S. spies not to share intelligence with the Trump administration until they could verify the president-elect hadn't been compromised by Russia. More than 130,000 people will be trained over the next few years by the Israeli Health Ministry to help identify people who are at high risk of suicide with the aim of reducing the phenomenon. Workers will be trained from numerous fields including health and welfare, education, youth workers, and those working with new immigrants, the elderly, and members of the LGBTQ community. The steps follow a national plan to combat suicide that was approved by the government 3 years ago. The Health Ministry established a suicide prevention unit consisting of 4 employees 2 years ago, and the ministry is now issuing a tender for an organization to implement the program. It hopes to launch the program this year. According to the ministry, some 500 people commit suicide every year, with another 6,000 hospitalized by suicide attempts. The Israeli cabinet is preparing new rules that would criminalize collecting or publicizing information on Mossad agents, past or present. Those found guilty would be tried for espionage and could face a 7-year prison sentence. If the suspected motive is to harm national security, then that prison sentence could end up being 15 years to life. The new law would specify what exactly constitutes secret information and is designed to eliminate the excuse "I did not know." Similar to the Atomic Energy Commission, the ban on publishing information about the Mossad stems from Israeli censorship law and the general prohibition against publishing secret information. Such information about Mossad employees, which includes soldiers who served in the agency, national service volunteers, and the organization's service providers, include the person's address and information about his or her relatives and Mossad facilities.
That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.